want to say greetings, good evening. How the hell are you? Afternoon, morning, wherever it might be. Welcome to Beyond Ringside Live. Multiple location station in play from parts, parts undecided. That's one I've never heard used. I've heard parts unknown. I've heard parts unmentionable. I've also heard so many city names and not from the city. I've never heard parts undecided. Anybody who runs off with that, I want 15%. From studio.
You mean parts to be determined?
Oh, that was Wednesday nights here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. What's up, Wick? And meanwhile, Studio 35, yours truly, Fast Eddie Layne, being joined, you heard him, tag team partner extraordinaire, the promoter, the trivia master, the incomparable Shane Noles. What's up?
Jumping in way too early there, but happy to do it. TBD.
When do we ever go by a damn rule book?
It's been a minute.
Exactly. Hell, half the time we don't even use a run sheet. We just have fun with it. First off, thank you to everybody tuning in through BeyondRingside.com, ProWrestlingRadio.net, Radio.co, Radio.net, Streama, TuneIn, all the different methodologies. We still here, and yeah, oh boy, I almost broke into Orleans. Still the one. Still a great song after all these years. It holds up, and I love it. Going to nail down some things right off the bat. Housekeeping from social media. And I'm going to do this with zero trepidation, hesitation. Although I'm sure some eardrums are going to need resuscitation after this one. I've made comments in public and in private on social media and other places about the what has transpired on SiriusXM. Now, to prelude or to do prelude part 2, I don't listen that often. Why? Various reasons. Number one, just because they cover something, I'm not going to be of the mindset, ooh, they talked about it, I had to bring it up over here. That's not the way I do it. That's why I don't listen to that many shows outside of what we do here. I'm sure that there is a great number of whether it be live radio, terrestrial, satellite, whether it be podcast, whether it be YouTube, whatever. I'm sure there are some great shows out there. And just because I don't listen, I do that by choice. I do listen to Cornette every once in a while because when Cornette starts doing some of the talking about 1984 or talking about the one of the latest ones I saw, the lineal Smoky Mountain Champion. I found that to be entertaining as hell. Thank you, Brian, and whoever did that over on Reddit. That was funny as hell. But that's also the same reason why I don't listen to so many shows that cover current events similar to the way we do it. Because I don't do copycat crap. I never have. I never will. My opinions, and I'm pretty sure I can speak for the entire team, our opinions are organic, first-person thoughts, not parroted from somebody else. Now, with all that having been said, when I saw the announcement come down the pike on social media, LaGreca himself doing it, I just sat back, I let it play out, and I cringed because I don't follow Busted Open on social media. It just happened to show up because I do a lot of wrestling stuff on social media. So the algorithm helped it find me. This, of course, relating to this past Monday when Pro Wrestling Nation Channel 156 officially became WWE Radio. Let me clarify. I am not against WWE having their own station. They've had one before. They've had syndicated before. My problem, my issue, and my stance is very simple. Taking over an existing entity that was known for allowing and encouraging not only positive and negative, affirming and dissenting opinions, but also perspectives about different companies. What WWE has basically done in this is deplatform discussion about other companies. It has deplatformed dissenting opinion and negative opinion about WWE programming. Because don't think for a sec. I mean, I'm sure they're into day number 3. I have not listened. I have no plans to listen. Fact of the matter stands, I honestly don't care that much. I care more about the impact that it's had on the listeners than it has on the staff. I knew that Thunder Rosa had left. I saw her statement in the middle of all the Rebel Heart, I Am ALS, Ice Bucket Challenge things. And a couple other people have left from 156 because they're not either directly affiliated or sympathetic to WWE causes. That's WWE's choice. They now run the station. But once again, when you take away a voice that may not be exactly complimentary to your product. Look, there are people around the world that like Beyond Ringside, and I thank you for that. There are people out there in this world that don't care about Beyond Ringside, and I'm cool with that. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. Now, a lot are going to sit back and say, well, you can still have your opinion. You just can't say it on 156. That's the issue. Because that platform has been taken away from you. And I'm just not a fan of that. I'm First Amendment all the way. If you lay down the groundwork and then all of a sudden something else comes in and says, well, guess what? It's going to be all us now. Sad. It really is. And I've said this before over the years, going all the way back to the beginning in 1 month, 6 weeks. And that many years, September 98. I'm not beholden to WWE. I don't take money from WWE or any other company out there. I don't have to play by their rules, and I'm not going to worry about what they say about me as long as they don't worry about what I say about them. I don't get overly dramatic about things. Every once in a while... Okay, this coming from the person who snapped his gourd last week when somebody brought up the diva in the NBA, who I still don't give a rat's ass about. I now have pulled my Laker gold out of the vacuum sealed bags and will prepare to put things back on the wall again. But back to the topic. If I like something WWE is doing, I'll say it. If I don't like something WWE has done, I'll say it. Same thing with AEW. Same thing with the National Wrestling Alliance, with MLW, Maple Leaf Pro, TNA, Ring of Honor. Doesn't matter. And this platform, more than anything else, will still have an open door policy for promotions, big and small, to come in and talk about their product. I've done that a lot in recent days, and I plan to do it more. Whether it is New Era Wrestling, Bubba Cagle and Company in Central Alabama, whether it's Ace and Amy Haven, Pro South Wrestling, Northeast Alabama, Northwest Georgia, whether it is Scott Hewlett with House of Heat Pro up in Indiana and Illinois. I mean, lo and behold, or Mark James, North Carolina, some of the promotions he's done business with up there. The door's going to be open. It will always be open, especially for other promotions to come in and talk about their stuff. So my condolences. Oh, and by the way, if you honestly think Dave LaGreca is going to be there in 6 months, I'll go ahead and take some action on that. But for the original premise that was Busted Open Radio and Pro Wrestling Nation 156, I wish you the best in your future endeavors. I hope WWE Radio kills it. I hope it, but I know I've been watching the comment sections, and I know there's a bunch of marks out there as a just for the hell of it. And life is not an airport. You don't have to announce your departure. If you're gonna cancel Sirius because of what happened on 156, just cancel it. You don't have to tell everybody, or you can send it over in a private message or an email. It's that easy. Just like when people stop listening here. Nobody's really going to sit back and say, oh, I'm tired of listening to that. I'm leaving. Okay. Once again, you don't have to announce your departures. This is not Hartsfield International Airport. So, moving on, ready to have a little fun. But once again, 156, I wish y'all the best in your future endeavors, all the way across the board. We will continue to do things our way right here on Beyond Ringside Sports Radio. Shane, you have thoughts on this one? Jump on in.
Yeah, real quick, this seems like such a Vince McMahon move of overtaking something that's already a pre-existing format. People may not know. Now, this comes into a question I've done at Useless Trivia. SiriusXM offers over 200 channels.
Yep.
If you look at, online only or extra channels or like artist branded ops, you can push that total well north of 400 channels. Catch my drift here, folks, on why was there a necessitation here to overtake a pre-existing format? One that was quite successful, by the way, because as Eddie just spelled out, I'm sorry?
That's why, because it was successful.
Oh, well, I mean, busted open. Great. Look, did they talk more about WWE and AEW and TNA than other promotions? Sure. But as Eddie said, it was a place where everyone was welcome at the table. Everyone could get a little piece of the pie as far as the notoriety, the discussion, whatnot.
Yep.
How hard would it have been for TKO, Levesque, whoever makes this call, okay, we'll be the 402nd channel on SiriusXM. We'll be WWE radio, and they can do their own little thing. I don't understand it. But here's the thing. I don't understand a lot of what WWE and TKO do nowadays. But yeah, I mean, it just, I hate to see anything like that go. You think about licensing, like inside the NBA, and this is something we'll get into a little bit later. Inside the NBA, the good Lord, multiple double-digit winning Emmy Award studio show was purchased from Turner to ESPN. Much like with the Pat McAfee show was an agreement to license it from YouTube to ESPN. Neither one of those shows has really, I've only had one season. We've only had one season of Inside the NBA to see it, but it hasn't lost that charm because I will give ESPN credit. They allowed it to still be Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith. They allowed it to still be filmed and produced by the Turner crew in Atlanta. So all that boiled down to was ESPN's like, we want a piece of the pie, do what you're doing. I'm saying that to say, could Busted Open Radio just have done their thing and WWE do their thing? Like, we don't want to change a thing. There always needs to be nitpicking here and there. And I will say this, everything that WWE does, it may be making money, but it's not turning up roses.
Although it is providing the fertilizer.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, it was too easy. Yeah, I took the low-hanging fruit on that one.
I like that. That's out of my playbook. I like it.
Well, picking up topics, picking up the stakes, and letting sleeping dogs lie where they are. And like I said, folks, at Beyond Ringside on Twix, Facebook.com/Beyond Ringside, Facebook.com/Beyond Ringside Live. Agree, disagree, take umbrage with, fine. Want to hear about it. We would like to know what's on your mind. Drop on over, say hello, let us know where you're listening. And look, over the last couple of weeks, everywhere from the lower 48 through Mexico, through Germany, France, Denmark, there have been so many, the UK, there have been Australia, there have been so many countries and continents represented in listening through radio.co and through some of the other different apps. And we're all appreciative of every one of you that takes the time to listen. We talk about going all over the place with the signal. You had an opportunity to go to a different place this past weekend to actually very familiar territory, Shane.
I did. I was up in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina for the 7th gathering hosted under the banner of T-Mart Promotions. Marty T-Mart D'Amato and his family always do a solid job. This is not just my opinion, as Eddie and I say, we will cite people, that we don't just steal it as our own. But I have seen so much glowing reviews on social media and here. Marty and his team really knocked it out of the park this year as far as everything was so structured, everything was so organized, but it also felt so casual and leisure, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I know that could be a conundrum. People got done on time. People were at where they were supposed to be on time, and those can sometimes be a headache just when you've got 3 or 4 towels. When you've got over 70, amazing. But for me personally, it was an abbreviated 2.5 day vacation. Very much enjoyed. Got a chance to catch up with Buff Bagwell. Very excited for Marcus's journey. of how his life has turned around and what he's headed towards. And I don't think he would hate me if I gave away a little scoop here on Beyond Ringside. But there is one more match in Mr. Bagwell's future, and it will take place under the banner of TNA Wrestling. And if I'm going too far, Marcus, I'm sorry, but he told me it will take place in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm rooting for him. That's pretty amazing, all things considered, where his life was at 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And he's bouncy. He's always bouncy and energetic. He was a lot of fun, and I'm really rooting for him. Can't wait to see. Now, that's a last match I'm invested in.
Oh, yeah.
Not just because I know Buff Bagwell personally, but the terms of that, that would be so neat, and I hope it comes off well. I want to say, I told him in person, a happy 70th birthday to Wildfire Tommy Rich this past Sunday. It was neat to see. High Spots had a banner, happy 70th Wildfire, at his table. Dawn Marie this is just random thoughts, Eddie, as I'm gathering my thoughts. Dawn Marie might be one of the nicest people I've ever met.
Oh, yeah.
She took the time to talk to anyone who came at her table, not just if you bought something, but to talk for a good 8, 10, 15 minutes. A true, genuine sweetheart. I will say I got chill bumps when I met Jushin Thunder Liger. That's definitely a bucket list for me, to see Liger in the full garb with the cape, red, white, silver. And I thought this was so interesting. Not long after I met him, I went to go have a drink at the bar, and he and his team came up to the restaurant bar there, and he took off all the garb except the mask. And the waitress was kind of confused taking his order, someone wearing a hood, so to speak. But it just made me proud that even though his in-ring career ended, I believe, 5 or 6 years ago?
Yeah. At
Wrestle Kingdom, that he still doesn't take that off in public. Even to order food. Took out everything else. I thought that was neat. Other two guys on my bucket list, Psychosis and Juventud Guerrera, both very, very nice gentlemen. And I respect the heck out of them as workers. I don't want to go to a long diatribe here, but for me in college, the old guys might have been in the main events on Nitro, but goodness, I tuned into Nitro to watch guys like Psychosis and Juventud Guerrera, who were doing revolutionary things in the ring. And this was 1996, 97, 98. Bill Apter, always a pleasure. Eddie, can you believe Bill is 80 years old now?
Yes, I can.
And Bill is doing, which he showed me, and he sent me the link for it. Bill is going to be doing something this fall that's pretty neat. A lot of these lost photos that just never made their way to Pro Wrestling Illustrated or Inside Wrestling or any of the other Apter mags, he's doing them as an online PDF to send out to fans, and you have to get the code through him. And that was neat because just some of the ones he showed me, he and Andy Kaufman in Memphis, he and a young Hulk Hogan in 1985 in Madison Square Garden. He's like, there will be thousands more. And you may know this. I didn't know. I asked him where were the Pro Wrestling Illustrated offices. He said Long Island and Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. He said the one in Pennsylvania is actually still standing or still left as is. So he said it's kind of become like a little tourist attraction for wrestling fans coming through the area. George South, always a pleasure. I'm just going through here. I'm sorry if I'm boring anyone, but always good to see Nikita Koloff and Magnum TA together. Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, and Brock Anderson together. Now the Hall of Heroes. Eddie, you know who may have been the hit of the weekend? Just for two reasons. One, she's so incredibly nice, and two, it's her last pro wrestling appearance ever, and that's Rockin' Robin.
Oh.
I think she was the belle of the ball, so to speak, for the gathering. People just showed her so much appreciation and so many good talks, and it was good to see. None of the guys looked bad. You know, I mean, Tugboat Typhoon, Shopmaster, Uncle Fred, he was on a walker, but it was more like for stability. It wasn't like he had difficulty walking. Mike Rotunda was on a walker as well, had a knee brace. I think he had a recent surgery, but everyone looked in good spirits. There were no issues whatsoever. The longest line, in my opinion, was the Freebirds of Jimmy Garvin and Michael Hayes, since this was Michael Hayes' first appearance at the gathering. And then 2 would be the Hardy Boys. Matt and Jeff seem to be a very good line also for the mayor of Knox County, Kane. And, just talking to Marty briefly, he's like, it happens every year, but the only cancellations he had were Greg Gagne a week and a half before, which he replaced him with Ronnie Garvin. Chick Donovan was not able to make it due to a sickness, replaced by Curtis Hughes. And then no notification was given Jim Brunzell and B. Brian Blair. Both did not make it. But other than that, all 68 other, and I guess you can count Hughes and Garvin, we did have 70 on hand. Lots of cool merch. Very nice to see Karen McDaniel and Barbara Goodish, the widows of Wahoo McDaniel and Bruiser Brody, together. Got a chance to talk to Stan Hansen for a solid 2 or 3 minutes. And I popped him, Eddie, because I said, I guarantee you 90% of people come up and talk to you about 2 things. One, the match with Bruno in Madison Square Garden where you broke his neck accidentally, or the run with Brody over in Japan. And he said, yes, sir, you would be right in that statement. I want to talk to you about the 1989 Cinema Classic, No Holds Barred. And Stan threw his head back and laughed and hit that classic line, the Taney Wainers. He said, I don't get asked about that one very much. But Ted DiBiase, I mean, you go to the gathering, look at the list. But I would just say overall, I had an incredible time. A lot of good food was eaten. Dave Wills, always good to catch up with him, had a tremendous T-shirt on that said kayfabe everything. Yeah. And another shirt that I thought you might like, Eddie, somebody was wearing a shirt, at the old Brady Bunch title screen where you have the 9 squares. It had 9 pictures of Ole Anderson, said the many faces of Ole Anderson, happiness, empathy, sadness, anger, all 9 pictures. Saw someone that had an airbrushed blue jean jacket with the Freebirds, and then another one with Hot Stuff International with Steiner and Missy and Steen and Eddie Gilbert. These were customs folks. I mean, this was pretty nice, but a lot of good merch, a lot of good food. Everyone was in a good mood. All the talent seemed happy. There was no, I mean, of course, they've been doing this. This isn't a Johnny-come-lately type thing, but Marty went ahead and made the announcement. The Gathering 8 will take place next year in Charlotte, North Carolina at the Hilton. The dates are July 21st through July 25th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Bill Apter was leading karaoke, the Hardy Party with Jeff performing. I did not stick around for the live wrestling portion on Saturday night, but I was one note for me too. I was really glad to see the Powers of Pain, Warlord and Barbarian, get inducted into the Hall of Heroes. 2 very nice gentlemen who still look in tremendous condition to this day. And Bill Eadie, very, very nice man. Very happy for him. And, Darso as well, recently inducted into the Hall of Fame. But again, overall, great atmosphere. Everything was organized. Everything was on time. Everything felt relaxed. It felt like because this, Eddie, you've worked them. A lot of times that can feel so hustle and bustle.
Yes.
We got to get you in. We got to get you in.
Yes.
Yeah. We got to get your money. You got to get it. Nothing. It just peaceful, man. You could walk around the thing 5, 6, 7 times. Nobody's giving you the business. Are you supposed to be here? What are you at? Just cool, calm, and collected. Doug Dillinger was a pleasure to meet as well. But yeah, got a chance to catch up with a lot of fans. Some former Peach State fans were there, and we were talking some old Peach State memories, but a good time was had. And I'm very thankful for those opportunities to get to do this. And it just didn't last long enough.
No.
I mean, it was one day longer on the gathering than typically is, but I joked with Marty. I said, you might not want to do this financially, but what if you made it a week? You started Monday and closed Sunday. I said, because you're only 2 days away from it now.
How visibly did he cringe?
He looked at me with an eyebrow and he said, we'll talk.
There you go. I will simply sit back and say this. Hats off, of course, D'Amato, to everybody that is up there that puts this thing together, that helps it to run so smoothly. I would love to have been able to be up there, but duty calls. And I thought for some reason it was going to be August. And once again, it's case, even though we've talked about it here on the show, it didn't sink in. So give me the dates for next year.
That would be July 21st through July 25th, 2027. right back at the Hilton Charlotte University Place, Charlotte, North Carolina. A couple other things while you're writing that down or typing that down. I want to give a shout out to Dos Caras and the grappler Lynn Fitton.
Yep.
I always pop for the old mask guys. Tony Anthony as well, Francine and Shane Douglas. Again, you could look at this lineup, but that's how, and I've never been to WrestleCade, I've never been to WrestleCon, so I don't want to speak heel or that like I don't know, because I don't know. Anyone who wants to know how you run a professional pro wrestling convention, go to the gathering. That is so well done. You know, you didn't get back in your car feeling like you got cheated or you were pissed off or blah, blah, blah. No, it was exactly what it was supposed to be. A leisure vacation, a chance to mingle, catch up with old friends, meet new friends, and pay tribute respect to stars that paved the way along the way. And that was just a lot of fun. Already looking forward to next year, and I hope my cohort on this program can make it.
I would love to be able to. I really would. There are 3 that are bucket list items for me, and I'll take us to the break with this one. Of course, number 1 would be San Diego Comic-Con, which just took place the same damn weekend. Number 2 would be the oh boy, big news coming out of there all the way across the board. And I will simply hold on a lot of that by simply saying to Ryan Reynolds, dude, you are still awesome. And he continues to be more awesome. Going around in the X-Force Deadpool outfit, people did not know who the hell he was, took pictures, and then he posted and he would post them on his social media, and people have to sit back. That was actually Ryan Reynolds. Holy crap. So kudos for that. And also the way that he handled everything inside Hall H. DC owned one night, Marvel owned the other. Guess what? That's the way it should be. Because DC had a great outing through Comic-Con when they were there, and then Marvel took the reins and said, you know something? We know the pressure's on. Let's do it. And the way that they reset Hall H with the introduction areas being in the back for the special effects or the special staging areas, I thought that was beautiful too. It gave everybody a chance to feel sandwiched in this rather than everybody craning their necks to look forward. You had a chance to look over your shoulder and go, what the hell's going on? And then open up and there's the X-Men stage and there's the Avenger stage, and everybody walks from back to front, giving people a chance to slap hands, high five, shake hands, do the rapid fire selfies with people over your shoulder. It's like, I thought that was cool as hell. I loved it. So hats off to the organizers who put that particular day together. And 3 would end up being the Cauliflower Alley Club. Something I've always wanted to attend. All the respect in the world for the traditions of the Cauliflower Alley Club. And I would, once again, would just love to find a way to make it out there on any particular gathering. Really? Gravity works, and I need to go fix that. So tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take us to our first break. Shane and I will be back in just a moment. You're listening to Beyond Ringside Live.